me just record. Yeah, some of the tools. Okay. Some of the tools in NLP are the representational systems, communication styles, state management, meta model, sleight of mouth, and IQs, and anchoring. So what happens is these are some of the tools. I've just given you only some of the tools, which is really, really beneficial when compared to when it is related to parenting, because representational system is one system where we literally identify what each and everybody's internal representation is. So some people would like to see, some people would like to perceive things through seeing, through visualization. Some people would like to perceive things through hearing the audio. Some people would like to do that through the feeling part, right? So representational system is the place where you learn each and everybody's internal representation of how they are perceiving things from the outside world. So that is one of the major area, I would say parenting would really help, because it really helps what kind of representational system our child is having, right? So only when we know what kind of system our child is having, we can identify in what way we can represent to our child, what way we can communicate to our child. So the communication styles is basically the styles which you learn according to the representational system of the other person. So here I'm just telling you as a child, as an example, you can relate it to you when your family any of your family member, or in your professional life, your manager, or with anybody who where the communication happens, right? So in communication styles, we learn more on the rapport building, how to really engage the rapport. And today we will see more on the state management. And there are a few more tools in NLP, which is really, really deeper, which are meta models, sleight of mouth, and eye accessing cues, and anchoring. So these are the things where these tools are a little more deeper. When I say deeper, meta model are the programs where you really go deep by asking questions, knowing more about the person, or knowing more about the thoughts, what they are having right now. And sleight of mouth is the pattern where you reframe the questions so that we get the results what we want. And eye accessing cues is one of the model in NLP through which you can identify how exactly they are representing inside their mind. And anchoring is the best tool, quick tool, to get a particular anchoring for any kind of interpretation we would like to have in our body. All right. So as I said, NLP is more of the experience based tool. So today let's see the state management. In the state management, so what exactly is state? So I'm talking about state management, but what is state? So basically, state is an emotional condition, right? So the we call it as our mood. So sometimes we are in a good state, sometimes we are in a bad state. So we often say this, right? I'm in a bad mood. I'm in a good mood. So basically, we would like to say state is an emotional condition in which you are in. But the good thing is it can change very instantly. So that is why sometimes you feel like crying, and then immediately once you cry, you're fine and your state is very calm, right? So that is a very good thing of our mind, of our brain, of our neurons, which is how our neurons are binded into inside our brain. So we are ultimately responsible for our own state, isn't it? Because we have the control in us, and we if we know how to manage our state, we can see hundreds of responses in a very positive way, or in a way how we want it. So to manage the state, there should be a great flow first with you. And so you can do the state with others. So basically here, as a parent, as we are talking about parenting, you can, as I said, you can relate to other situations when I talk about parenting. In as a parent, your job is to know what state the child is in, isn't it? Only then you can you will understand which state you have to go and how you can manage the particular situation, right? So please give me thumbs up if you're on the go, and if you're we are on track. Please give me thumbs up on the chat or give me the reaction button so that I know you're all listening to me. Great. So let's see. Let's see, what are the sources of state? Thank you so much. Thank you, Wally. Thank you, Guna. Thank you, Ramanujam. So what are the sources of state? So we are talking about going into our emotional situation anytime, right? So what are the sources of state? How it happens? Sometimes, yes, thank you, Prashant. So sometimes we say we see something in the media and immediately we go into that emotional state. But whereas it is not happening inside us, right? It is not me. It is not. It is happening with somebody, but I'm feeling that. And sometimes it's based on the culture. Sometimes it's based on the religion. Most of the time, it's the external influences which is controlling my state, right? If we have that awareness, you can identify most of the time it is the external influences. And sometimes it's the time pressure. If we don't live at present, if you are always looking for the future one, if you always live for the future, you get that anxiety, right? Oh, I have to finish the task which I have to do tomorrow. So the thing is that anxiety will always be there. So that is again another state which you are in. So which means the mindfulness is very less. So if you're aware of our present state, then the state would be the mindfulness. Whereas if you are more focused on future, only thinking about the future, then sometimes the anxiety comes in. So that is also a part of the sources. And sometimes the money pressure, sometimes the needs and the desires, which we need to keep up with the standards to live in the world, isn't it? So even it happens in your company. So you need to match the standard which your manager needs, or which your vertical needs, which your horizontal head needs, right? So sometimes those things will also control your state of mind. And okay, now how to identify in which state you are? Now you know at least the state is not. Of course, we are going to see how we can manage it within, but most of the time, the state is influenced by from outside world. So now let's see how to identify the states. So once you are aware, you need to first see in which state you are, whether you are in a negative state or the positive state, whether you are in anger or joy, whether you are in anxiety, or you are very calm and relaxed wherever you are, whether you are in hurry mode always, or whether you are always be patient in handling things, whether you are understanding or complaining mode most of the time. So these are the contract states. Some of the contract states I have just given you out here. So when it comes to parenting, when you are with your children, so the first thing you ask is, or I would like to ask you is, what states are you in with your children? Have you ever thought about it consciously, bringing that awareness? What states are you in with your children? Whenever you are communicating with them, please type it on the chat. Let me hear some of your answers. And have you also thought about what states are your children in when you are communicating with them? So these two questions, ask these questions to yourself and then type the answer out here for me. We want our children to listen to us even if they grown up. Okay, it seems that's the next question. It's a question, right, Raman? I think you're asking a question. So, yes. So right. So now I would like
That is
you
what
to,
that's what it is happening. I mean,
yeah,
how we treat our children is, we always insist, even if they've grown up, we insist that, we want to listen, we want them to listen to us. That is our
exactly,
drawback.
exactly. Yeah, you got it right. So the our drawback is this only, that we always want our kids to listen to us, whether we are aware of first of all what we are and how they are and what they are. So That is really important. So ask this question first. What state are you in with your children? What state are your children in? I just need answers from some of other people also, so that I know that you're listening out here. And yes, okay, somebody is typing. Okay, just reflect on these questions, and then depends on the situation. Yeah, Valli says depends on the situation. Of course. So it is opportunity to identify the state. Exactly, Ramanujam sir. It's our opportunity to identify the state. So coming back to Valli question. Uh, okay, let me just go back to the previous slide so that what states are you in with your children and what state your children are in? So Valli, you say depends on the situation, right? So my question to you is, it doesn't matter what situation they are in, but it does matter even in any situation, we identify what state we are in. And we also identify what state the children in, right? So of course the situation is different and the state is also different, isn't it? So yeah, the reflection here is to first of all go deep into the understanding of what state you both are in. That's the beginning point. That's the very beginning point. And then yeah, and then the next one is, sorry. And then the next one is, first of all, let me hear one of the situation from you. Any of the situation, you can just put it in the chat. Let's say when you were shouting at your son, when you're shouting at your daughter, you know, what state you were in and what state your child, your son or daughter were in. Any particular state, just give the name of the state, any state name, so that we can just homework. Okay, Valli says homework. Okay, homework is the situation. So in homework situation, what have you identified or have you thought about what state you were in when you were communicating during the homework situation with him? Valli? Hurry. Yeah, good. Yeah, so as a parent, right. As a parent, you are in a hurry state. And have you thought about what state your child was in? What state your child was in? I know you are thinking now, but yeah, please do that reflection. That's really helpful. My daughter always feel that parents dominating, even if we talk to her politely. So um, the state she was in is, so at this situation, what is the state you are defining? Okay, Guna says calm. Yeah, calm is the expected one, isn't it? Calm is the expected one. Whereas, yeah, I mean, of course, the child state, calm is the parent state or the child state? Child state. So child state is calm, whereas as a parent, we are in hurry. Yeah. So just imagine, no? Just imagine. So somebody young age of 23 cannot be calm if she asks. Okay, let's come. Okay, we are just beginning, and the questions you are asking is for the future slides. Okay, so right now I'm just making it clear that let's just think of some of the states you were holding when you were handling some situation before, when you are with your children, right? So let's say this hurry and calm, see, such a contrasting states, isn't it? So how it would work, like, yeah, Valli was saying that hurry mode, right? So, and if the same time the child wants the calm state, how it work? It won't work, correct? So either some dashing would happen, either we need to shout and all that we need to do. So rather, what state you want to have in you And before, when you are hurrying, of course, the child calm state also will change into anger state, isn't it? Earlier. So when you are in the hurry mode, the child mode will also change into anger state. So now, what is that you want to change? What state you want in yourself first? And then what is the state you want in your child? So in this situation, let's say, yeah, meanwhile, you can just put it in the chat. In this situation, let's say being a mother, we want to be in a calm state, first of all, right? And we want our child to be in a calm and the understanding state, isn't it? So, yes, can I have thumbs up? Chat S in the chat. Younger generation kids are very aggressive. Yeah. So these things are, yeah, okay. Very aggressive. How do you know they are aggressive? How can we generalize all the younger generation kids are aggressive, right? So this is one of the thing NLP handles, which is we don't label anybody. Yeah. So if you are labeling someone with some past experiences or with some group of people, then it is like accusing the whole generation, or just labeling the whole generation without understanding every individual, because every individual matters. Every individual thought pattern, every individual emotions, um, every individual the every individuality's identity is different, right? So this is one thing NLP always focuses on. So every individual is unique, yes. So what state you want, you can write it down in your paper, in your notebook. So before, what state you were in, now what is the state you really want to be in with your child. Okay, so write that state which you really want to be in with when you are sitting with your child, and what is the state you really want your child to be with you when you're sitting with your child. You don't want your child to get angry, correct? Then which means, what is the state you really want your child to be with you? Okay, so write it down. And then see what happens when you say to your child often. For example, in the first scenario would be like, let's say, the homework scenario. Okay, so let's say my son is not doing the homework, and then what I do, in the first scenario, we say hurry. In the hurry mode, what we do, we shout, we get angry, hey, why are you not doing this? And then some some parents says they beat, which I don't even allow, or which is a wrong thing to do. Even the shouting also, it's not the good thing to do with the kids. We are not at all allowed to do that, because when a child is born, it has millions of neurons built in. And whenever we say don't, we are starting we start cutting each and every neurons which is binding the learning process, right? And just imagine, when you keep on saying to your child, don't shout, when he's shouting without understanding what state he or she is in. The parent is saying, don't shout. Why are you getting angry? Don't angry. Now stop crying. Please raise hand. How many of us are using this? Listen to me. Sometime back, Ramanujam was saying, right? We always, even the 23-year young, he says 23-year young daughter. 23-year is young still. So we say, listen to me, right? So we never allow the kids or our children, in fact, the adult, 23-year is more than adult. So we never allow them to be themselves. All that we want is, we just want to push whatever we want, or we push whatever we see in them without the whole understanding. And what happens if that gets continued? How our son, or our younger generation will become in future? Some of the thoughts, please. Or at least you might have seen in your home, you might have seen your near and dear ones kids, if anybody is keep on doing this way. suppressed state of mind at home. Exactly. They won't be. So what we are doing is, so what example we set is, don't show your emotions, correct? That is the example we are setting. Don't show your emotions, at least in front of me. Then what happens? It gets accumulated, and then that becomes a very low confident child, and he or she gets a fear. And later on, when you put them back into the outside world, they will suffer a lot. They get fear for each and everything, right? And at one point, they don't even know how to talk. I just want to tell a small story out here. I used to be a very, very reserved person in my school and college days, just because my father used to be very strict, or at least that is how I saw at that time, right? Because sometimes it's also about our perception, isn't it? And I really wish if I known all these things earlier, but I was not knowing all these things. So I don't talk much at home. And whereas I used to be a great speaker and a great writer in my childhood, and I say in my childhood, from 5 6 years, I'm very good in all the extracurricular things and everything. But later, like after 12 13 years of age, I myself felt that, I'm not open enough, because what happens is small things happened in our house, right? So those things by default goes into our unconscious mind, and that becomes our beliefs, that becomes our behavior, that becomes our habit, and finally that becomes your character, and then people see that as an individual, right? So that becomes an identity. But luckily I got an awareness, right? And then I worked on it, and then now, I mean, I'm more than what I am, right? Whereas, of course, my parents were of such a help in between, but whether my parents knew that, or whether they knew all that since beginning, no. At least now we are having lot of webinars, lot of trainings, lot of models coming in. But our parents, they don't know all that, right? All they knew how their ancestors brought them in, right? So that is the only thing they know. So that is the only thing they thought as well. But whereas we as a child, that time, we just believed and we just grasped everything, whatever our parents do. This is just an example of what we are doing to our future kids, right? So I really don't want that to happen, at least for our future generations, because now it's a modern world. Everything is changing. And in this world, if we are not open enough with our emotions, meaning if we are not be as we are, then the suppressed thing will create disease. And that disease can be, it can be anything. It would affect the child in a way that depends on their individual, tolerance level, right? So yeah, these are some of the consequences we would get if we keep that happen. The productivity gets reduced, the relationship, there will be a big gap and a big problem in the relationship, the parent and the child relationship, and and also with the environment. So wherever we go, the child won't be able to present as he or she wants. So what are the ripple effects? Just imagine if that continues. So for any 10-year or 11-year-old, just imagine if that continues to be, because they are all in the teens, right? It's the very, very important, um, very important age. I would say the teen is a very important age. So just imagine how it would affect if that continues for a year, for 3 months from now, 6 months from now. Just imagine how it is going to affect the child and you. Are you really motivated to do some changes in your relationship with your child? So the first thing you do is first aware of the negative consequences and the positive consequences through time. Because time is one thing which is not in our hands, right? So you accept it or not, you believe it or not, time is always ticking. Even now we are running out of time, right? So with your child, if you're not able to make any changes immediately, that affects them a lot. When I say it affects them a lot, Just imagine the 23, 24-year-old, if she is going to get married in 1 or 2 years, how it would affect her life in another family, right? So a 10 or 11-year-old, you know, so if he is not allowed to show what he want to show, or if as a parent you are not able to understand exactly what state he is in, what kind of relationship you are going to develop in future, there would always be a gap, isn't it? Right? So yeah, so the next step would be to learn to change your state into a positive state, right? So now that we know this is the state I am in, now I really want to change the state I want how to be in. So what are the things you can learn? What are the things you can say to yourself so that you can make the change in you? You can you can start it with a very simple things. I am communicating with my child positively. So make it as an affirmation or make it as a habit to tell yourself, right? And I am understanding my child's emotions. Of course, this relationship is going to be easy. I always find support. Yes, sometimes if you're not able to manage, please seek support is really important. Not every time you need to do it by yourself. Yes. And yeah, I change my actions consciously if one is not working, which means if whatever I'm doing right now is not working tomorrow, I am flexible enough to do something else to get the result I want. Are you motivated enough? Are you flexible enough to do the changes as a parent? Yes. Can I get the answers in chat or in the emotions icon, reactions icon? Please. Are you really motivated enough? Yes. Vali says yes. Yes, Ramanujam, yes. So we want to maintain a collection and selection of your resourceful emotions and state of mind. So please, first of all, with this awareness, go and sit and write it down, all your emotions, all your states, and parallelly write the state which you want to become, right? The state which you really wanted. Write that also using these examples, some of the examples which we have given. You please make your own statements according to the situations and according to the state you were in. Okay. Right. So now let's see what happens when you use this positive states and make it a statement. So what happens before Valli was saying hurry was one of her state, right? So now I would ask, so what is the state you would really want to have instead of hurry? Focus on what you want to do. Okay, so it is a thought for you, Valli. So what is the state you really want to have instead of hurry? If you would want to replace hurry into a positive state, what would you like to have that state with? Write down that state and focus on that part. First of all, accept, yes, you know that right now you're not in that state, you're in a hurry state. Fine, you accept it and move forward. No guilt, nothing, because that is the guilt is one of the thing which will not allow you to grow, allow you to move, allow you to change, allow you to be flexible, right? So all that allow you to be flexible, all that allow you to move and grow is the abundance mindset, the growth mindset, right? So you always look for solutions, always move forward. To move forward, you should know where you want to move, right? So write down that state which you want to have with your child during homework. Okay. And so that creates solution. When we have that positive words, when you make it a statement with the positive words, that gives a solution. So we are not here to focus on the problems. We are here to focus on the solutions we want with our child. And of course, yes. So we are the master of our emotions and mindsets, correct? Because right now we started identifying our states, because at least we all know that I'm in happy, I'm in sad and all that, but how many of us had really went into that state and aware of exactly right now where I am. Because after the once the incident is done, we always say, oh yeah, I was in hurry, right? How many of us say, I am in hurry now, let me just change my state? So we are the master of our emotions and mindsets. Nobody will come and change the things inside you. It's only you who are going to change. And that is basically consist of all your attitudes, your assumptions, your belief systems, your interpretations, and your judgments. Right? The one of the judgments we just saw today is that the younger generation kids are very aggressive. I'm so sorry, but I could not take it because that's one of the labeling and one of the judgment we give, right? So let's from now on, let's just may respect every individual, every child, every adult in the whole universe, because that is when you as an individual also would be respected for your individuality. And all the things what we are talking about is, yes, it is a wrong perception, yes. So whatever we are saying is, whatever we are interpreting, whatever we are making meaning with the things what we see, hear and feel, are the stories and the movies we make up in our mind. If you see what is where exactly it starts with our, everything starts with our stories. The stories we make inside our mind. The stories we make inside our mind about our child. Maybe if I do like this, my child will do like this, without even seeing or waiting what is going to happen by changing the attitude or changing the beliefs. We just have some nice self talk and we are comfortable with that self talk, which is actually the stories. We are making some movies inside. How many of you agree that we are making movies inside, right? It is all the stories we make. Even before we see the results outside, there are things which are running in our mind. Yeah. And yes, what is in common to all this stress, anxiety, the frustration, the depression, the conflict, everything, the procrastination, everything? For all these things, what is that one thing which is common? Let's say that you are with your child. If you're having a stress, if you're having a conflict, if you're having some frustration, irritation, whatever it is, what is that one thing which you think is the problem, or something is common out of all these things? What we think it is not happening, yes, the expectation, yes, so which means the things, the thoughts, right? So basically it is all our thoughts, exactly, Guna. So it is our thoughts, right? It is our negative self talk. It is the self talk basically which is common for all these the previous one, all these stress, anxiety, frustration, everything. Because I talk to myself that this is going to happen or this is happening, whereas that is only my interpretation, and because of that all these things are happening. So it is basically my self talk, and that self talk is negative. That is my awareness. When you find your state which was not working, the awareness is, the identification is the self talk. Again, another question. So, what is all in common to any form of nervousness, missing inner silence, and difficulty in meditating? What do you think? What is all common in this? If you feel nervous with your child, if you feel that inner silence is missing, what are the things common? The stress. Yeah, and the stress is related to the negative self-talk, which is happening inside our brain. So everything starts with that negative. Yeah, the mind is disturbed. How it is disturbed? Because of the movies and the stories which I'm making to my mind, to my brain inside, right? So everything is the I mean the negative, the self talk is the beginning of all these problems, all these things, all the negative states which you're talking about. How did we, if you just go a little more deeper after, even after the session, reflect on the states, what I asked you, right? The just go to this, take some of the old situations and check what state you were in. So, and then write it down. How did you went into that state? Mostly it would be that you are cooking up some stories inside, right? It is all my own inner stories. So it's all our own inner stories and our own inner movies which we make. So what shall we do about that self talk, sorry? What shall we do about it, right? That is the next thing we want to know, because we want to move forward and really we want to change the state so that we build a very good relationship with our child, isn't it? So how do we do that? Can we eliminate the self-talk immediately? Is it possible to eliminate the self-talk very quickly? Okay, and now I'm just going to say, okay, fine. Now from today onwards, I'm not going to talk anything inside. Is that possible? Oh, Jayashree, I should not talk. I should not have any self-talk. Is that possible? No, exactly. So the first thing always is acceptance. Accept whatever is happening, please accept it. And one more thing, the more you resist, the more you assist. How many of you felt it? The more you resist your self-talk, the more you assist, right? So if you're going to say, I'm not going to have a self-talk, it's not going to work because you're still talking about the self-talk, correct? So rather transform it, transform the unresourceful state into the resourceful state. Yes, accept and adjust. So never ever think of eliminating something. It will not happen. Don't even try, because that will give a very bad consequence. When you try to eliminate something or when you try to resist something, it will give a consequence. Of course, elimination is the process, it is the end process, but it is not the beginning process, right? So always transform it. How we will transform unresourceful into the resourceful state? Now I want everybody to take a pen and paper, or in your this thing, write your positive self-talk. Okay. Don't say to your child what you don't want her to think or feel. For example, in Ramanujam case, he says she or she never listen to him, right? So how were you saying it to her? You are not listening to me, or right? So can you please write a positive self-talk now with all the positive notes on, all using the positive states and the positive words in a way how you say to them with what you really want them to think and feel, not what they don't want. Let's design that positive self-talk. And when you design that positive self-talk, it is always important with your child, because I'm having a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old children. So with 5-year-old, it is all, see, if you are having younger children, it's always, I would say, it is the good time, because there is a from 0 to 5 years, plenty of the neuro pathways are happening. So many neuro pathways are creating. So this is the place where you can imbibe things very quickly. At the same time, whatever words you are using, it will go out there. So beware of all the negative words you talk. It will come back to you. Maybe not now, it will go into their brain. It will just build as a belief or a behavior or a habit, and then it will come back. So even the science says 0 to 7 years, it's a very good time where you can really, really build a very positive behaviors, build a positive habits in your child. So always use the words in a way how you want them to do. Don't use the words how they don't want to do. Let's say, instead of saying, don't shout, right? I would transform that into a positive statement, into a positive state, as it is always good to be quiet. That is one statement. Is it possible for you to be quiet for some time? That is another question way of. Here we are only using positive statements. There are no word of shouting coming here, right? So if you are keep on using the same shouting, don't shout, why are you shouting? Even when you ask a question what you want them to do, right? Don't put the words which you don't want them to do, or which you don't want to happen, right? So that will create again and again, the same loop will go on. Then the question will come, why should not shout, and again more shout will come, right? So we always say what we want the child to do. Please use that in your words, be it a question or be it a statement. Let's make it a very simple statement. If your child are in between 0 to 7, or if they are in teens, of course you would go a step ahead and ask, may I really may I know uh, what exactly is happening with you right now? So if you're a teen father, or if you are a teen parent, you need to really ask few more questions to them, so that they can come forward and say. Whereas for the smaller child, you don't have to ask more questions, because that will make them really more overwhelmed, right? So please give them very clear instructions to the smaller children. And if they are about teen, please assist them with, I am always there to support you, right? Always use this, I'm always there to support you. I'm more curious to know what is happening. Curiosity is one thing which you always have in you, so that you can get the most out of what is happening in their brain. Hey, I'm so curious. May I know what exactly is happening right now with you? I can see that these are not the things which you normally do. These things would help for the teenage or the adult, 20 plus, definitely, right? So have some curiosity instead of having some meaning making of, this is what my daughter is thinking and all that. Just be open with your conversation. That would really help you to have a better relationship, and also that would give you the way how you want it to be done. And as I told you, if one thing is not happening, please be flexible enough to do the next solution. So what is NLP is all about? Consciously regulating those negative self-talk to the positive self-talk. That is the beginning, right? At least in this webinar, I would like to give this as one of the takeaway for you. So please work on consciously changing your negative self-talk to the positive self-talk when you are communicating with your child. And please note it down all the different situations where these things are changing. Okay, right. Now, as a parent, how to manage these states? So as we said before, notice your present mood, emotions, actions, and behaviors, and just identify how would rather behave and feel instead. So if you are just going to do something else, how this is going to help you, right? How it is going to end up. So instead of some shouting, if some happiness is going to be there, right? So immediately once you identify, please change your physiology. We say physiology is everything. If you're sitting for a long time, I know it's the late evening for some of you. I mean, at least in India, it's very late. We in Dubai, it's already 7:30, and you are stretching yourself a lot. So you need to yawn. Please yawn and release that energy. But at the same time, simple change in physiology would help to have a different state in your body, in your mind, right? So a simple clap. I really want to clap now, so that I'm just getting some kind of energy, some kind of a different state I'm having. Please find your that quick state in which through which you can move. Just find your quick symbol. So for me, I do this, right? If I do this, even if I'm going into some sleep state, I would come back. So identify something like that, so that that you can use that when you are communicating with your child to know, oh, I am in that negative state, I need to come back, right? So use your physiology for that, like now I'm using my hands, right? Use your tonality, use your voice. If you see your negative self-talk is going high, which means if you're shouting, if you notice that if you're shouting, how about you reduce your tone for a while? You reduce your volume, reduce your pitch, right? Because the volume and the tonality makes huge difference in communication. How many of you agree this, right? Many of the relationship broke, not just our here, it is not only with parent child, many of the relationship broke, you know only with the tone, only with the voice how we use, right? Because when we raise voice, sometimes we miss the whole content, right? When the heart and heart is near, we don't have to raise voice, isn't it? So choose the voice modulations. If your tone is high, make it less, right? And sometimes if you feel low, whenever you are feeling low, your inside self talk is also low. That time do something, raise your voice, do some pep up, so and then your state would change from that sad to happy. So use your physiology in a way how you really want to identify some of your bodily movement, your tonality for to change the negative into the positive states. Right? It can be the facial expression with your child. It always helps with that curiosity, as I said, right? Have some curiosity in your face. Hey, I can see that you're doing something on your phone. May I know what is that? Hey, what's cooking up over there? Right? Hey, henna pandra phone langa, like this. If you go and ask, just imagine the result. Now you know the result already with that negative things, right? Now all that you need to do is for the positive thing you want for the things to for the kids to share something with you. Now you need to work on what are the things, what is the process you need to do. So it is an action. You need to write it down. You need to really make yourself with all these tools ready before you go to them, right? And yeah, as I said, thoughts and emotions are nothing but our inner stories and our physical and physiological responses. So which means if the negative thoughts and emotion, if the thoughts and emotions, if the physical physiological responses are related to our negative thoughts, why don't we use that physiology for our positive thoughts, right? Why don't we use our thoughts and the inner stories to create something new? Now that we know what's happening inside, why should we give the time for the negative self talk? Change it to positive self talk. Still, the self talk is there. The only thing we are doing is changing the words and the states. And as I told you, the remote control is in you. So you learn how to increase the volume of the remote and reduce the volume of the remote. You very well know when to increase the volume of the TV, right? When you watch a movie, immediately you're taking a now when it is shouting, you're just quickly reducing the volume, right? It's the same way. With a lot more awareness and with a lot more consciousness, we do it for yourself. And today I give that remote control to you. That is one of the key I would really want to give it to you. And this is the switchboard which everybody is having when we are talking, when we are conversing with everybody. And when it comes to child, please give the respect, same respect of how you treat the adults. In fact, they should be treated with a lot more respect, right? So you know when to increase the, in fact, the switchboard is having many things, right? The tone, the volume, and the pitch. When I say the tone, volume, and the pitch, three things are really a different one. You will learn more about more about all these things in the NLP trainings. Today, having less time, I won't be able to explain in detail. So, yeah, the inner switchboard is ready. Inner switchboard is with you. You please change wherever and whenever you want. Okay. So, all right. There's some of the situations you can just write it down where you went back to your child days, or where you went back to your child a few days or the weeks before, Just exactly write the situation and write how did you behave, how did you act, and what did you notice that time. Please note this down, these questions, and write it down. I know I can really come and ask you after the session also. I really want to see. Write it down this. And once let me just give you few minutes for you so that you write that down. You can join this. You can join this group so that we can have the conversation after this webinar to discuss on all the things, all the questions and the answers. Please join this WhatsApp group. So if you're not able to finish this, please write it down after the webinar and send it back to me in the group. Okay. So once you write those scenarios, I want you to take at least 2 scenarios. It's enough, at least one scenario, 1 or 2. Take it, and then I want you to step into the resource state now. How would you rather behave? Take a moment and imagine seeing yourself behaving differently with very simple change in your body tonality, whatever we discussed so far. Please imagine yourself with a different tone, with a different physiology, with change in your body, with the different way, the language you use. Imagine yourself how the result would be for the same situation which happened some days before. Close your eyes and visualize that, feel it. Feel that into your whole body. And whatever changes you are seeing, you are hearing, you are feeling, please write that down too. All right. Okay, great. And then, yeah, so finally, these are the tips for the positive results when you, these are the things we have discussed so far. So pay attention to your child behavior, pay attention to the state they are in, get on to their level of communication. Don't be on your communication level always. Please go down and talk to their level and see them from their perspective, not from your perspective. And always use positive examples. You can take a screenshot if you want to have this. And yeah, so finally, become aware of what is happening and practice, practice, and then change to the positive state. So with whatever so far happened, you don't have to feel guilty. That is one thing which will stop you to move forward. So all these things would not help you. That is why I just put a slide here. Whatever happened so far would, if that would happen for long, then this is what would happen, right? You would waste time, you would damage the relationship, you would suffer, you will be in the negative stage, you will also self-sabotage, you saying, you know, that maybe I am the one doing like this and etc. and all that. So please stop all that. And NLP and the emotional intelligence is all about creating and maintaining this joy and the inner peace, inner silence, and the health and wealth on all levels, and feeling the satisfaction and contentment. So by this, we are just finishing the webinar. So if you have any questions, you can just ask me. I also, so the very detailed trainings for on NLP practitioner certification would happen in March. If any of you want to really join, you can contact. And today, it's the day where I give the offer also. I can just share you the offer, because thank you so much for staying in till the end. So just for that patience, I would really give that offer. And this slide is basically, this is what we will cover in the NLP practitioner in the 5 days. It's a 5 full day course. It's a 40 hours course. And my dates are this. It's 4 weekends and 2 half weekdays. Okay, these are the timings. Starts from March 12th and 13th. Once you join the WhatsApp group, I will post it there also. Please make sure you join that group. So these are the topics we will cover in the NLP practitioner. And yeah, we'll mainly focusing on this negative belief, and we will also focus on how to interrupt the stimulus response. It's a very small things we would focus in the NLP practitioner, because that is where you really transform yourself. We'll also learn more on the communication patterns, which we did not see it today. And then you will also learn more on how to reprogram effectively, how to rephrase, reframe, and how to continuously use languages to the excellence. So this is the charge of the NLP practitioner course. It's a regular price is 35,000. So today's offer price for you all is 25,000 INR if you are joining today. And if you're just having a doubtful, but if you just want to sign up only a half, then you will still get 20%. So still you can just deposit some amount and you can get it done. And all these things for only for the people who are attending the webinar, or you will also get this complimentary package, which is you can attend the retake sessions, which is basically 10,000 INR valued. You can just take the retake session for very basic cost, and all the recordings will be available for you. And this is the WhatsApp group you can join in. So we can also meet you in the future webinars. And this is the WhatsApp number and the calling number for me. You can contact me anytime. All right. Thank you so much for joining in. And yeah, thank you, Valli, for staying still end. Thank you, Santosh. Thank you, Ramanujam. Thank you so much, Naveen. All right. See you all in the next webinar. So please contact me if you would like to have any questions. Let's see on the other side of the WhatsApp group. Take care. See you all. Bye-bye.